It is so sunny today. I have my light on me turned up very high so that you can see me still. But yeah, it's very sunny. It usually doesn't get sunny this early, but it is the final days of summer. I hope everybody's excited for Labor Day weekend coming up. Is that just an America thing? Is Labor Day just in America? Right? Oh, this isn't pink, Danny. This is tan. This is like my fashion camo shirt, but I appreciate it. Hey, Gabathor. I'm so glad you guys all made a live stream. Oh, so Carlos said yes, Labor Day is only in America. I guess everybody just ends summer. But anyway, it's so nice to see everybody. We have some interesting stories to discuss. It was a little hard getting together 3 stories, but I managed to do it. And of course, I promised you 3 streams a week, so you'll be seeing me tomorrow, even if it's an Ask Me Anything. But yes, so let's get started. The way live streams work, for those of you who are new or would like a reminder, what happens is that we're going to discuss 3 stories, which will be marked by a red box around them over here. There'll be a red box. You can ask me anything you would like about that story, but please try to save it for when I open up the story to questions, or else I might not be able to get to your comment, even if it's a super chat, if you ask it at a different time. That's right, Jeff. We're going to talk about Jason Blum. And then at the end of the stream, that's right, Will, Ahsoka will go up today. Don't worry. I mean, I'm sorry that it's so late. It really, it's hard with these things, these breakdowns, if I don't do them right when the show drops. But don't worry. I'm not going to sleep tonight until it's done. Gareth, thank you for your generosity. You just donated yesterday, Gareth, as well. I really appreciate it. As I've said many times before, and thank you for your continued generosity, so I get to keep saying it. But gifting memberships was really wonderful because it helps this channel out, particularly during the strike, and it's getting rough, I'll tell you. But also, your gift benefits not just my channel, but it allows other people to be a member of the community. So it's a very kind thing to do. I appreciate it. That's right, Lee. I was on vacation, and I'm having it's taken a little bit of time to get back on track, but I'll do it. I'll do it. All right, so at the end of the stream, for the final 10 minutes, you can ask me anything that you would like. So if you have a question that doesn't have to do with today's stories, just sit tight, enjoy the stream, and then at the end, you can ask me anything that you would like. I don't necessarily have to answer it, but you can give it a try. All right, let's start out. I see we got a lot of Swifties here. A lot of Swifties. Isaac says it would mean a lot if you could wish me happy birthday. We didn't have a stream on Tuesday, but I would appreciate it a lot. Isaac, I'd be thrilled to do it. I'm sorry I missed your actual birthday. I hope you had a great time. I'm so glad that you would have liked to have spent part of it with us, but I'm glad you're here today. And happy belated birthday, Isaac. All right. That was lovely. I'm so glad. I was very happy to do it. Oh, that's awesome, Nicole. Good for you. All right, so let's get started. Hold on. Boop. Oh, look at Taylor Swift in all her glory. So Taylor Swift, and I bought a ticket. In fact, I bought 2 tickets because I didn't realize it wasn't refundable. I was like, because some people, like someone jokingly was like, Grace, you going to do a spoiler review? And I was like, it's so freaking slow. I might. So I bought a ticket to go see it. I was too slow to get the Friday, October 13th. So I got it on, first I bought a Saturday ticket, and then I was like, wait a minute, that's New York Comic Con and Hallmark Ornament Premiere Day. I can't go on Saturday the 14th. So I bought a ticket for Sunday, and now I have 2 tickets. So when you go to see this movie, there could be some empty seats in there because people can't return their tickets, which I think is very interesting. We'll do a poll. Anyone can vote in a poll. You don't have to be a member to vote in a poll. So let's see here. Are you going to see the Taylor Swift concert movie? I'll explain in a minute, Ricardo. So already have my ticket. Yes. Oh, maybe. No way. No way in hell. We'll wait for digital/streaming. That Taylor, she's got so much freaking money, it's ridiculous. But she gives a lot to her team, which is very impressive. And she's earning it. She's earning every goddamn penny. Let's see here. It is 3 hours, Alex. All right, so let me back up. I was not aware that some of you didn't know what the concert was. All right, so okay, let me start from the beginning of my notes. So is Taylor Swift the Tom Cruise of 2023? No way in hell is winning. That's hilarious. But Tom Cruise, of course, saved movies in 2022, and now it looks like Taylor Swift might save movies in 2023. Not really. I don't think she's going to save the movie business. I think that's so far Barbie to a degree. And, Barbenheimer. But I definitely think she's going to make a lot of money. All right? So her concert, the Eras Tour, is a juggernaut. Yeah, that's right, Evan. She did kind of save the economy to a degree. This thing has grossed like $1.4 to $1.5 billion to date. And by the time it leaves North America, it is guessed that it could make $2.2 billion, making it the most successful concert ever. And it hasn't even gone global yet. It's just in North America. So by the time she's done with this, she's going to make so much freaking money, and she's sharing it with the people who work for her and help make the tour happen, which I think is very commendable. But who knows how high this could get by the time she finishes the global tour. This thing is so successful, it caused an earthquake in California from people jumping up and down at the concert. The Prime Minister of Canada said, please bring your tour to Canada, because it helps every business around the venue, from clothing sales to restaurants to transportation. I mean, she's just a country herself in terms of an economy. It's incredible. So she was like, how can I make even more money out of this? And she decided to have a movie version of it, which you've seen many musicians also do. However, there are some key differences here. So Taylor Swift is releasing it herself in theaters, whereas a lot of times recently it's been done on digital streaming services, right? Disney Plus, Netflix, stuff like that. Taylor's like, no, I'm going to theaters. And since she's releasing it herself, she doesn't have to share any of that money with anybody except for the movie theaters themselves. So she's going to get 80% of the money. If not, because especially I'm sure it's very front loaded and they just really want it. So that is an incredible amount of money. Steven said, will people stand up in their seats? You better believe they will. It's funny you say that. I had that in my notes because at the recent Adele show in Las Vegas, security came over to some guy and was like, you can't stand in your seat. The people behind you are very upset. And Adele said, you leave that man alone. This is a concert. People, he can do whatever he wants. And I got to tell you, there is nothing wrong with standing at a concert. Sometimes I can understand you don't want to stand, but that just sucks for you then. When the people in front of you get up, you have to get up. And that's just the way it is. Now, I'm going to say that when you go to a movie of a concert, I think the same rules are going to apply. So if you're going to this, please be prepared for people to stand up around you and dance and sing. If you don't want that, wait for it to stream. Okay? It's just, that's the kind of experience that it's supposed to be. And quite frankly, I'm going to be disappointed if they don't do that, because that's the whole freaking reason to go and see it in a theater and pay $19.89. The name of her album, by the way, of course. So I think, expect it, be prepared for it, wear comfortable shoes, and, just join in the fun. But I don't want anyone to be upset when you go, being like, what the heck? That's right, stadium seats, that's right, SMR Goose. Or it'd be in a front area. But, whatever. It's a long concert. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes. So, maybe you can sit a little bit. But whatever, man. It's going to be an experience. So, she is not running this concert every day. It runs Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, I believe. Sometimes just Fridays. Starting October 13th. She scared Jason Blum. Jason Blum is the master of horror, but when Taylor Swift said, I'm opening my movie on October 13th, he said, oh noes, and moved his Exorcist movie, which I don't think anyone's going to see, up to October 6th. Hey, Darwin. That's a great name. So I think he wants his premium screens. Now, there's a lot of screenings every day, but only one premium showtime per day. In fact, on the 13th, it's not even in Dolby. It's only in IMAX in some of the theaters. Well, it's some Dolbys. It depends where it's playing. So there's like one IMAX and one Dolby showing per day, and then there are a lot of regular showings that you can go to. I prefer premium formats, as you know, and it's on a couple of weekends in October, but the one night that it plays during the week is, I believe it's on Halloween. Thanks, El Pidio. That's very kind of you to gift a membership. So you can see it also on Halloween evening if you'd like to. So that's pretty nice. So it's not a Barbie level movie release, Steven, but I think it's certainly going to, especially because there's so little else going on at the box office, it's certainly going to make some noise. And also it's not going to have those weekday numbers. It doesn't have premium all day long. It's more of a limited release, but still it's going to be very cool. AMC is spearheading this. But also it'll be available at Cinemark and Regal. Now that's right, I saw somebody wonder if I saw it. I did. Oh, look, hold on. Look, she's got merch. Only in theaters starting October 13th. $15 for that popcorn bucket and $12 for that fancy cup. I'm glad they're advertising it. I would have gotten the Little Mermaid and Avatar cup and popcorn bucket that frickin' lit up if I'd known about them, but then they sold out. So anyway, you can get this at AMC. Very exciting. And I think I'll be curious to see if people, I think people will pick this up. I think that's pretty nice. That looks like the merch, because, it's the Eras Tour. She's singing all of her whole song set. She's singing the whole thing. Okay, I'll end the poll and see how it's doing. Hold on. Yeah, SMR Goose. And by the way, it's only in North America. The reason it's only in North America is because the concert hasn't gone anywhere yet. And the concert is at a much higher price point. The concert tickets are far more expensive, and that's even before the resale on places like StubHub. So she wants you to go to the concert. And then if you can't go to the concert, there's a movie. So once this movie opens in North America, the concert will be done here, and Taylor will be overseas. And then once I'm sure she finishes overseas in certain regions, although of course bootleg versions of the concert will go out, but then it'll become available in theaters near you. But I got to tell you, so far, well, we'll talk about the ticket sales in a moment, but let's do the poll. 38% said no way in hell. It's funny. 23% though already have their ticket, whereas 22% are waiting for digital or streaming, which is great. More Taylor Swift doesn't care. Ka-ching. And then 15% at maybe. But that's pretty darn good. When you put the 23% with the 15%, you're getting close to 40%, I think. My math skills, not great. Which is weird, considering I do movie math, but yeah. So that's awesome. So that's really great. That's pretty solid for a concert movie. I mean, I normally would never go to see this, but I do like Taylor Swift. And I was like, I would like something to cover because it's so freaking slow right now. So even I'm going. And part of me was like, I wonder if some other people I know want to go, but I don't know if they want to do 2 hours and 45 minutes. I'll have to ask them. But I don't even know if I can get them a seat, quite frankly, because this thing's so nuts. And also, I'm like the only I don't know a lot of Taylor Swift fans. But yeah, David, I'll review it. I feel it's so slow. I'll review the concert. And I got to say, from what I've seen, it looks pretty good. So I think, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to go and do that. All right. So as I said, it's $19.89 for adults. Get it? $13.13 for kids. So that's fun. I think this would be a fun thing for a kid to do. And then much to my shock, it was non-refundable. I was like, what? Non-refundable, and also you can't use your AMC A-List pass either. You got to pay money for this. And I was like, what? Oh yeah, and as Will said, there is an upcharge for premium. So Dolby or IMAX, you have to charge a little bit more. That's right, AG, it will be on Dolby and IMAX. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes, and I think the reason they're making it non-refundable is because they were worried that people would go and buy a lot of tickets and then maybe release them. That happens all the time now with AMC and AMC A-Lists. People go and oftentimes a movie will look sold out on the sales chart, but when you actually go and see it, there's tons of empties, or at least like a noticeable amount of empty seats because, there's no penalty for not showing up for AMC A-List. So, you'll grab seats or you'll let them go at the last minute. What's my favorite 1989 song? Hold on. Let me check. I have it on my phone. I'm not such a big Taylor Swift fan that I remember it off the top of my head. But I do like Taylor Swift. Thank you very much. Blank Space. I've been listening to that a lot lately. I like that. But I really like I got to tell you, some of Taylor's music I don't love. But I like most of it. So I think I'm going to have a good time. And I do appreciate good production values. So I think I'm going to have a nice time. And she looks really cool on that poster. I'm a big fan of Taylor, both the creative and the businesswoman. So I want to support her. So again, she's making tons of money off this. She didn't go with a streaming service, so we'll see how that works out for her. I checked the sales. So far, the first weekend is selling extremely well. Like really well. Like it's almost impossible to get a ticket if you want a premium screen. But then after that, there's hardly any tickets sold. So I wonder how it's going to do weekend to weekend. Maybe people will start going multiple weekends, right? Like maybe you'll go the first weekend and be like, I had such a great time, let's go again. So it could do better, after this. But right now, the party seems to be first weekend only. So if you're into it, that's maybe when you should go. So that's interesting. Oh, let's see here. What are my notes here? I don't think it's going to be a Barbenheimer. Some people feel like, well, maybe it'll be like with Killers of the Flower Moon coming out the week after. No, I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think it's going to be a Barbenheimer, but I think it could change the game for concert movies. I saw some of you say that Beyonce is probably like, what about my tour? I think there are a lot of incredible tours. Tours are doing very, very well right now. Hold on. So I can see maybe more people following suit with this. It's a good use of movie theaters, quite frankly. I think she should be selling even more merch, quite frankly. And so we'll see at the box office. We'll see what the first weekend looks like. I think that it will definitely be able to break into the top 10 considering how strong the sales are. But I'll be curious to see just how far it gets up and if it impacts any other movies. Also, some of you talked about and asked me about the fact on social media this morning that Taylor Swift is, of course, getting ready to direct her first movie for Fox Searchlight that she also wrote, and everything else is being kept under wraps, including the subject matter and who's starring in it. Let me tell you, Taylor Swift is an incredibly talented individual. She's an amazing singer. She's an amazing businesswoman. I feel she's probably a pretty good writer. She writes all of her own songs. She's directed some stuff. I think she's done a great job directing her music videos. But I gotta tell you, I believe there's one thing that Taylor Swift cannot do, and that is act. Whew, that's right. Lloyd was ahead of me there. She is a horrible actress. So bad. Like really bad. I hope that she has the self-awareness to notice that. Now, I'm not saying she can't give herself a small little role to go in there and so her fans can see her and be like, hey, everybody, and everyone will go, oh my gosh, it's Taylor Swift. But I hope she doesn't make herself the star of the movie because she is really a bad actress. I saw her in the Amsterdam movie with Margot Robbie and Christian Bale and John David Washington, and she was awful. And she had a very small role, and I was just like, whew. Well, Gerard Katz obviously was also quite bad, but you could say that wasn't her fault. But she's just not a good actress, and there's nothing wrong with that. Oh no, she can do everything but act. Boo-hoo. I think she's like the richest, maybe the richest, she's the richest something. She's got bank. She's very successful. She changes the game. There's no reason that she needs to also be an actress. I mean, as some of you said, not everybody's Lady Gaga, who I think is actually a very good actress. So I hope that would be the only thing that could hurt Taylor Swift's movie, that she could make herself the star of it, and it could be awful. She's a big icon, though. I mean, I don't know. Let's just see. Dolan says, considering crazy concert ticket prices, I hope this release strategy will build a new system for tours that are of that size. Fans need more options. That's a great point. I agree. And I think the way that Taylor handled it was really wonderful, and that she didn't cannibalize her tour. She waited until after the tour was over, and then she's like, hey, do you want to experience it too? Here's a concert to go. You can go see it as a concert. I have to say, instead of doing it multiple weekends, I would have just booked all the premium screens all day long for like a one weekend, for a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and just done a huge blowout to make it more like a concert event. Because I think, I don't know. I mean, I think you want a fan to have the experience that they want to have, but then just allow them to wait for it to come out on digital. Let me ask what you would prefer. Hold on, I'll do another poll. What is the best way to do a concert movie release? Blowout single weekend, limited release for a month, which is what Taylor Swift is doing, or just a regular movie release. There you go. So you can vote in that. And then as you guys vote, I'll just tell you that Hannah Montana is the concert opening to beat with $31.1 million back in 2008. That was a long time ago. And then Justin Bieber in 2011 is the second highest opening for a concert movie with 29.5. However, I do believe these were wider releases than what Taylor Swift is doing. Although maybe not. I think the Hannah Montana one or Justin Bieber was like only 600 theaters. But it's, they had it all day long. Taylor's only got one IMAX and one Dolby per day. CJ says, no shade, how loud will the theaters be? They better be loud. I don't want, the volume better be turned up. Thank you very much. So this is a great idea. I'm very happy for Taylor Swift. Good for her. She's making the money. John Thrasher says, Taylor encouraged dancing and fun. What are your thoughts about it being a concert-style experience in a theater? As I said earlier, you might not have heard it. I think it's the way to go. That's what I'm expecting. You're not going to go to, why not just wait to digital if you don't want that theatrical experience of being with other Taylor Swift fans? Even if you're not a huge Taylor Swift fan, even if you're not going to go crazy, you want to be around other people going crazy. Wear your mask, wear your COVID mask because COVID's going back up. But that's okay. You can get a nice light mask and sing through it because, people are going to be singing and screaming. And so it's going to be very COVID-y in there. So just do that. Brendan, I'm sorry I missed your super chat, but if you do a super chat before I open it up to questions, I might not be able to answer it. I apologize. All right, so let me look at this poll, and then you can ask me anything about this story. Evan says, I went to the Cincinnati show. It was the best concert I've ever been to. So you're going to go again so you can experience it again. That's interesting. I like that. So your poll says 43% like what Taylor Swift is doing. Limited release for a month. Blowout single weekend. Only 38% is with me on that. And then 17% just like a regular movie release. So that's interesting. That's good. So Taylor Swift seems to have done the right thing. Steven says, screenings will disrupt entire theaters. Will anyone even sit down? I see madness. I think there better be madness, quite frankly. I'm expecting madness. I think it's going to be great. And I think Taylor Swift fans are nice, too. So everybody will be nice. Everyone will just be it'll be a fun time. Everyone will be positive. Oh, Danny says, I think they need to leave theaters for movies only. I don't know, Danny. The theaters are hurting. They're like, whatever you would like to do in here, we allow it. Hi, Mr. Sweet Tooth. Have a great meeting. All right, does anybody have any questions about Taylor Swift's movie concert before I move on to the next stuff? Wade says, when does Taylor Swift join the MCU to save it? You joke, Wade, but there's a rumor that she is coming. Hilarious, which I felt a little bad about because she's such a bad actress. So I was like, I think that's fun, but she's such a bad actress. I don't know what to do. We'll get to the next story in a moment, Ricardo. Fellow Grace says, are you going to see the actual concert? No, I'm seeing some Broadway shows. I've seen some Broadway shows lately. I've been to some concerts. I'm not a big concert person, to be honest with you, even though I'm not a big music person. I like going to plays and stuff like that, but I've been to some concerts. I like going to comedy shows a lot. That's one of my favorite things to do. Love going to a comedy show. Steven says, can concert films get an Oscar? Could that be the goal? She desperately wants one, but every time she submits a song for a film, she gets ignored by voters. Well, Taylor Swift can't have it all. That's okay. I don't think this will qualify for an Oscar. Ben Pello says, last concert movie I saw in theaters was horrible and horrible audio quality, and I hope this one is better. Taylor won't let that happen, Ben. Don't worry about it. Oh, Wesley says Michael Jackson. That's right, I did see Michael Jackson. Well, I mean, come on, that's amazing. And I also saw the Cirque du Soleil Michael Jackson show many years later, and that was incredible. The Cirque du Soleil did a great job. Hey, Jason. I respect the way she got her rights back by re-recording her work, but I wish she would take control of the ticket sales in some way. She's the only one with the power to actually make a dent there. Well, Jason, maybe that'll be her next step. You know, I think it's hard to do mid-tour, but I'm sure she certainly is thinking about it considering what a disaster it was. And I think her deciding to release this movie herself and working so closely with AMC to make sure that the site didn't crash today, the app, when the tickets went on sale and it didn't crash, I think it shows that she is learning from that experience. Good for her. Orlando said, what Taylor era suits you best, Grace? Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I don't know which one. I don't know the eras well enough. I'm so sorry. I don't know any of the eras. I just like the music. Let's see here. Tammy says, Grace, this kind of... Oh, Rajiv, thank you for gifting a membership. That's very kind of you. Tammy says, hey, Tammy, Grace, this kind of release allows people like myself who don't have the finances to enjoy the experience in a special way. I totally agree, Tammy. And also maybe people who just are like, you know, who are more casual fans too. I'm glad to be back, Tammy, and it's good to see you. Let's see here. Oh, Evan says I'm Lover era. Okay, I'll take Lover era. Let's see here. Oh, TJ also agrees. Although ES is Reputation an era, Lloyd also feels them Reputation. Oh, I'm multifaceted. I love it. Alexander says she can promote it if she is part of SAG. Would this be considered scabbing, Grace? Well, no, because I don't think there's any acting in it. There's no acting in this movie. It's a concert film. I mean, they didn't do anything unique. She just filmed her concert. So I don't think that qualifies, quite frankly. So I think that's why it's okay to do. All right, so I think we're ready to move on to the next story. But I appreciate everyone's telling me which era I'm in. I'll have to think about it. Hold on, I'll make a note for when I watch the movie. 1 second. Taylor Swift, headline. What is my favorite era? And also, of course, because people love negativity, what's my least favorite? All right. Let's see here. All right, next story of the day. Clear the board. Boop. Oh, look at Adam Driver. There he is in Ferrari and on the bottom, and there he is promoting Ferrari at the Venice Film Festival. What the heck? So Adam Driver is at the Venice Film Festival, or was. The clips are all over social media today, promoting the Ferrari movie. So, you know, the Venice Film Festival is kicked off, and they're kicking off with a big star who's getting all the attention because he's able to do press. How? Well, that's because this movie has an interim agreement from SAG. This SAG stuff, these waivers are ridiculous. That's what we're going to talk about first. So SAG gives some waivers to films. I feel it's sort of scabbing. I think it's really unfair to all the other actors who would like to be Oscar contenders that he gets to go and fully promote the film. I mean, he did talk about it and be like, hey, you know, like, isn't it horrible that Amazon and Netflix can't meet the SAG requirements while a little studio like Neon can? Of course Neon can. Neon's got nothing to lose. They're like, give me whatever you want. I'll sign it. Then Neon can get out ahead of the awards season, and they have very little on the line, whereas the studios have a lot more they're making, so it's much more expensive to them to agree to some of this stuff. Also, I got to tell you, I haven't heard a single person say what their interim agreement agrees to. I was like, because like that's the other thing. AMC Network signed an interim deal, as you can see here. Hold on. Let me make it bigger so you can read it. So The Walking Dead spin-offs and Interview with the Vampire Season 2 can resume production as AMC Networks makes an interim agreement with SAG-AFTRA for just 3 shows. Oh, Danny, a scab is someone who crosses a picket line. Now, the real problem with this is the reason these guys get to go ahead is that this stuff is usually filmed outside of the United States. That's often why a SAG will give an interim agreement. And it's really horrible. It's going to make the IATSE people, which is basically everybody below the line, absolutely hate actors. Because these guys, IATSE crews can't work. They're not getting they're totally unemployed, the people who work behind the camera. Whereas all these shows are able to start filming again because they're largely overseas. And I don't know why SAG doesn't see that. They're going to make the actors they're going to make such a division that I think it's going to make people very upset. Abdil says, isn't the interim agreement they will match what the eventual deal is? Yeah, but how can they agree to something they don't know what it is? You know, like, what is the eventual deal going to be? What are they worried about with AI, with Ferrari, right? Like, Lloyd Lester, the studio always pays for the trip abroad. Studios foot the bill for these kinds of situations. They pay for all the talent to go, although Venice might also pay some of the fees. Oh, 80s model, so good to see you. Thank you for gifting a membership. So what happens is that sometimes also the studio, if they really want big stars at their event, will also maybe like the Venice Film Festival will maybe sometimes provide the hotel, and then the studio will provide the airfare usually, and they can rent one private plane and stick everybody on it, or they can pay for like commercial first class air travel. So that's lots of ways to go. But I think these SAG deals are really bad, and I think the fact that they're undercutting local or workers in Hollywood is really, really, really bad. So that's what's going on there. But now let's talk about this film, because it's, I made an Oscar video earlier this week, and I was like, is Ferrari going to get on the board or what? Well, here it is. It landed in a big way because he's kind of scabbing, nobody else is able to really make an impression at the festival. So Adam Driver got a ton of attention today for this movie. However, and so he's really trying to get the 2023 Oscars. I think it comes out at Christmas, cool, Kev. Thanks, Tomas, for gifting a membership. But look at this. A 76%. That's what it got on Rotten Tomatoes. These festivals are turning out to be a real double-edged sword. Cannes took down a bunch of movies earlier this, in the middle of the summer. All these movies got really bad reviews, except for Killers of the Flower Moon, which had excellent reviews. But this is like really rough. Like 76%, that to me reminds me a lot of House of Gucci. House of Gucci, by the way, ended up eventually with 61% only, 83% from audience, but I gotta tell you, I think this movie's got House of Gucci written all over it, quite frankly. And I thought House of Gucci was not horrible. I could watch it, but, it certainly was not a big awards contender. Hey, Ryan. So let's see what happens, but 76% is an awful starting place for this movie. I think that it almost instantaneously kills a lot of its awards chances, in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see how small the field is, how many other movies potentially drop out. But I just feel, let's just see. Okay, so that is the second story of the day. Does anybody have any questions about this before we go on to the Golden Globe story? Rabbi Ziki, Ferrari is about a tumultuous time in the founder of the Ferrari company's life, where he's dealing with family tragedy, and it's like one of those snapshot things, and he's got a crazy personal life going on. Steven says House of Gucci without Gaga star power to carry it. That's funny. Mika, I'm kind of a Michael Mann fan. I'm not a huge Michael Mann fan, but I certainly respect the man, and I would certainly watch this. You don't get the Adam Driver hype, Mr. Magic? I think he's wonderfully charismatic, but I don't know if he sells tickets. I like him a lot. That's right, Rashad. We already had Ford v Ferrari, but that was like a different viewpoint. This is just focusing on Ferrari. That's funny, Dolan. Let's see if people are Adam Driver fans. We'll do another poll. Are you an Adam Driver fan? Love the guy. Can't stand him. And then can take him or leave him. Oh, neutral. That's a good way to go, David. There you go. There's the poll. That's a good point, ES. Ford v. Ferrari was more about Ford than Ferrari. Fiction fan. I'm so glad gifting a membership lifted your mood. That's not great, because that's why you got to stay positive, because you never know what's around the corner. That's really nice. Adam Driver was great in Marriage Story. Totally agree. And I thought his Kylo Ren sketches are great from Saturday Night Live. That's right, Sierra. Cool Kev can't get enough Adam Driver. Although David Kyle says he'll never forgive him for killing Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford killed himself. Adrianic, I don't think there are any Italian actors in the Ferrari movie. But everybody so far is okay with it. I've heard of good things about The Last Duel, Gramos. And I agree with Josh Love's movie. 65 is pretty good. Although Renan hated it. Hey, Poke. My pleasure. Always fun to see you. I like H. Hadley saying, I like the guy, but not enough to watch everything that he is in. I can see that. All right, I'll close the poll in just a minute. Any questions about this? Does anyone have any questions? Stop. Click away from there. I don't remember his oil baron sketch. I'll have to check that out. Oh, Gavin, you got a hot date on Sunday. Oh, good luck to you. Break a leg. I hope it goes well. Present progressive Adam Driver turned down the role of Reed Richards many times, but Marvel still feels maybe they can get him to do it. That's what's going on there. Marvel just won't take no for an answer. They're like, put another 0 on it and see what he says. Psst. Pass him like a note in class. Mika, I don't know if I'm going to the New York Film Festival. I better look into it. You're right. Raphael, that's a funny thing to say. Okay, hold on. I'm closing this down. Boy, I got to look up this oil baron sketch. Caroline, your favorite sketch ever? I'm going to watch it after this. Okay, are you an Adam Driver fan? 58% are neutral. If I were Adam Driver and his agent, I'd be like, I'll take it. 33% love the guy. That's surprisingly low. And then 8% only can't stand him. Woo! Right? I mean, I'm sure he's quite happy about that. I can't believe I missed this oil baron sketch. My goodness. All right, let's get on to the next story. And then you can ask me anything that you would like. Story number 3. Boom, baby. The Golden Globes also refused to die. All right, so as you might recall, the Golden Globes were rocked by a horrible scandal. They took a year off. Then they came back, and it did not work out for them at all. It worked out very poorly. So they were sold from the Hollywood Foreign Press Association was dissolved, and now Dick Clark Productions fully owns the Golden Globes, along with basically Penske Media, which owns all the major trades: Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, and Deadline. But then also sites like the Gold Derby, etc. Many, many, many sites. And it was announced today that that gentleman at the bottom there, Mr. Tim Gray, who has worked at Variety for 42 years, has left Variety, or actually transferred because it's now all owned by the same company, and is going to be the head of the Golden Globes. And he's like, I'm going to rehabilitate this thing. But is he? Because they said we're going to have a new board of directors. But yet many of the people on the new board of directors are from the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. So I think there should be not a single person from the Hollywood Foreign Press Association on the new board. I think it should be totally devoid of anybody from that group, because then it's just the exact same thing under a different name. So I think that's ridiculous. They're going to vet journalists, and this is going to be entertainment journalists, but I'm not sure if it has to be foreign entertainment journalists or it can be any entertainment journalists. And then isn't that the same thing as the Critics' Choice organization? Because Critics' Choice, which I'm a member of, just to be clear, Critics' Choice is critics. But, a lot of us also cover news and stuff like that. But Critics' Choice is all critics who are voting. But then what is the Golden Globes going to be? Like entertainment journalists, but not critics? So it seems like a weird distinction to me. And also one of the things that was, I think, set the Hollywood Foreign Press Association aside, both good and bad, was how small it was. Like, it was a very small organization. So that unfortunately made it easier to bribe them. But it was a very small voting body. And so it became a little bit more, when it was at its heyday, it was a very elite group. And also, boy, were they good at predicting who was going to win an Oscar. And they were always the first out of the gate. And they had a very entertaining show where they served a lot of alcohol. They intentionally overserved the people there so that they would be more crazy on stage. And that was the whole idea. Hey, Freddie. So I thought, that's how the Golden Globes did so well. But I agree with all of you, by the way. I think Billy Crystal is the best awards host. He really was doing a fantastic job there for a while. Although I thought Seth MacFarlane was actually pretty funny the one time that he hosted. And Ricky Gervais, I think, was good. Although I don't appreciate mean humor. I think it's, I would like to move away from that to some degree. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. But now, the awards season in January is going to be nuts. So the Golden Globes is going to be first again with Sunday, January 7th for the 81st entry. And they're going for it, even though every single possible broadcast partner has turned them down. Even the streaming services. Nobody will air the Golden Globes as is. Maybe that could change. I don't know. Let's see who ends up being the host. But right now it looks like maybe they're going to stream on their own website. So they're moving ahead. They're going to just keep going, even though they couldn't find a single distribution partner so far. Then the very next Sunday, Critics' Choice will air, which is January 14th. And that airs again on the CW. And I think Critics' Choice was hoping to be the Golden Globes this year. And it's, not great that the Golden Globes have now snuck in there the weekend before. They should have taken that earlier Sunday. They shouldn't have left a Sunday free because now the Golden Globes has slipped in there. So you're going to have two big award shows Sunday to Sunday, Golden Globes and then Critics' Choice. And then the very next day on the Monday are the Emmys. Because the Emmys, of course, as you know, were delayed because of the strike. So that's going to be a very hectic January in terms of awards. And we'll see if the Golden Globes can get any traction. But yeah, I agree, David. It's a mess. Does anybody, and then of course the stupid Oscars don't air until March, which I think is way too late. I think it's ridiculous that the Oscars are so late. And it just takes so long to get to them. And pretty much everybody knows who the winners are going to be at that point. Does anybody have any questions about this before we go to Ask Me Anything? Alex, I forget when the Grammys are. Let's see. Again, I'm not a music person, so I don't really pay attention. February 4th. So they're a little bit further away from that. That's not too bad. AI host, Ragu. What? Ricardo, I like the Oscars. I think the Oscars are really important. Oh, the Super Bowl, too. Love the Super Bowl. Oh, that's very sweet of you, Rashad, to say. Poke, the Oscars are owned by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Steven, has Barbie been moved back to 9/12? We're going to have to move our watch along. Let me go see. Looks like it's been delayed. Yes, Tuesday, September 12th. They haven't made it very clear yet, so as soon as they make it more clear, we'll plan the watch along. But we're going to do it. Don't worry. The day that that movie drops at 7 p.m. That's right, Ricardo. There's still money to be made in the theaters. I don't think anybody has any other questions about this, so we'll move on to the Q&A section. David, that was not a new trailer for the Marvels. It was just clips from old stuff. Okay. Q&A time. Here we go. Hold on. All right, you can ask me anything you'd like for 10 minutes, which means 5:34. Elliot says, there's speculation that Barbie will be the Oscar nom for Best Original Screenplay instead of Adapted. Is that a safe place for Barbie because Oppenheimer and Killers of the Flower Moon are frontrunners? Well, you know, there's no such thing as a safe space. I think that Barbie would do very well. I think it should definitely be nominated, but I'd have to see the rest of the section. You know, who else was the other nominees? BNH, that is a very nice thing to say. I don't know if I would qualify because I'm independent. I'm not with a news organization. So, but that's a very nice thing to say. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll apply. Maybe I will apply. You never know. Hey, Gramos, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Lloyd Lester, I'd love there to be a sequel to Elemental. I don't know if there is, but I'd love that. I want to see if they have a little steam baby. I'm like, but how Fire and Water? That's a great movie. I love that movie. Faisal says, hi, Grace. Thoughts on Only Murders Golden Globe chances? This could be the perfect time for it to win, especially with the empty fall TV schedule. Let's see. I hope Selena Gomez gets some respect on her name finally. Media Lover, I did not see anything on National Cinema Day because I was on vacation, but I'm glad that it was such a hit. That made me very happy. Jonathan, the episode 3 breakdown for Ahsoka I will not go to sleep until it's done. So it'll go up today. Buck's Basement says, Grace, critics are liking One Piece. I promise this is not a Mario. Plus, you could see what Marvel should have done with Kamala Khan. I don't know, Buck's Basement. I was looking at some clips this morning, and I don't think it's for me. And also, I don't see a lot of traction on YouTube for coverage of it, interestingly enough. It's very big on social media, for sure. But, I don't think it's a huge runaway hit in the YouTube space. Freddie says, Grace, what happens if Superman Legacy flops? Well, I think that'll probably be, I think it'll be the end of you would think it would be the end of Gunn, but we've seen so many people fail upward. It's very odd. Oh, Official Liam, I'm so glad you're liking One Piece, even though you didn't read the anime. Lloyd Lester, I'm not at all surprised about the Idol cancellation. At all. I didn't read Jean Grey yet. I have it. I'm interested to hear you have mixed feelings. I was going to read it last night, but I was like, no, I'll save it for the weekend because I really wanted to relax and enjoy it. Or maybe I'll read it tonight. Cosmic says, moving to UC Irvine in 20 days, going in as a transfer for film and media studies. Oh, that's wonderful, Cosmics. Congratulations. That should be a great program. Thanks, Twinkle, too. I love your little picture there. It looks like a Pokemon. Pokemon. That's how you say it, right? Pokemon. Jamie, I'm watching Winning Time Season 2. I'm like one of the only people who apparently is, and I'm loving it. Apparently, it's not going to come back, which makes me sad. Anthony, I don't really react to Universal trailers, which is why I haven't reacted to any of the Oppenheimer trailers or Five Nights at Freddy, but I will review that movie. Get the crap scared out of me. Media Lover, I'm not at all surprised about The Great's cancellation. I didn't even watch season 3. Oh, Jordan, I'm so sorry to hear that your wife Cheryl is in the hospital, but I'm glad she's getting care. And I'll, of course, give her a shout out. Hey, Cheryl, I hope you feel better soon. Mike says, do you think Taylor Swift has reached Michael Jackson levels of fame? Ooh, I don't think so. She's certainly extremely successful and one of the most successful performers of all time. But Michael Jackson, I mean, what he was doing with dance and, he changed the game when it comes to music videos. I wouldn't put her on Michael Jackson's level. I am Jacob. I will definitely cover Jonathan Majors and that situation as it develops. I'm glad we'll finally get some concrete answers on it and that he's finally getting his day in court. Rio, I haven't heard anything about a Snow White teaser, but let's see. Oh, Dimitri recognized that Pikachu. It's an Eevee. Devin says, hey, Grace, I was wondering what actresses could you see taking on the role of Wonder Woman in James Gunn's DCU? Would you ever make a casting video? I have to think about it. Maybe. I mean, there's no Wonder Woman project that Wonder Woman would appear in at this point. I don't know. I think, it's hard because Gal Gadot was like a total unknown. So I think that I would want to look for someone at that, like also another total unknown. Someone was saying, Grace, it's a trap. Is the Michael Jackson thing, you thought that comment was a trap? Sonny and Lead says, bring on Barbie Tuesday. Whenever that Tuesday is, we will have a party. Devin Henderson says, what series are you going to watch now that it's so slow? I recommend Rings of Power. I'm glad to hear the cinematography is good towards the end, but that just did not work for me. I'm not sure what I'm going to watch right now. I'm waiting for them to hurry up with Only Murders so I can see the final 2 episodes. So that'll be good. SMR Goose, I will cover any Disney announcements next weekend. But, the D23 that they're having is very, very different than the D23 that has all the cool big announcements. This is just some little thing that's only one day for fans. They might throw a little something in there, but don't expect it to be like a huge day. Oh, that's right, Steven. People should read Hellfire Gala before the new Jean Grey solo. Any of the new X-Men comics, quite frankly, because they all come spinning out of that comic. Alpidio says, I heard The Exorcist had a terrible test screening. What have you heard? I haven't heard anything myself. It just looks bad to me from the trailer. I'm just like, and I've had enough. There's been so many Exorcist movies at this point. Hey, Tyler. Tyler says, hey, Grace, what improvements would you make to the Disney World parks? I'd like to get less automation. I think this having everybody on their phone all the time is like not great. So if they could give a little bit more personal freedom to people, I think that would be nice. Randy says, when you watch TV shows, do you multitask or sit still and focus only on the program? Well, unless it's really bad, and then sometimes I will get distracted by my phone, but I don't take notes. Sometimes, I rarely will, like occasionally if I don't want to forget something, but I don't take notes when I'm watching a movie, and I almost never take notes when I'm watching a show. Sneaky says, it is my dream to work in the movie industry, but the market is too small in my country. I'm hesitant about moving overseas, so I don't know what to do. Sneaky, what country are you in? I think it's very tough to uproot your whole life, and I don't know if it's necessarily worth it either. I need to know what country you're in, Sneaky. I'm looking for you don't have to super chat it. I'm looking for you just to say what country you're in. Come on, Sneaky. Give me a country, Sneaky. Give you another minute so that I can... Denmark! Thank you. Sneaky, you're awesome. All right, let me see a map. Map of Europe. Let me see where you are. Oh, there you are. Lovely. You're pretty close to the UK, where they, of course, film a ton of stuff. Yeah, some of you are saying you might be able to get some TV work, and movies and TV are very similar these days, so I would really look into see. Every major city has a film production office where people have to get permits to film outside, for location scouting. Also, there must be some kind of movie studio somewhere in Denmark where they have like a sound stage. So you can check that. Yeah, Denmark, that's what I'm saying. So I would look into that first. Then sometimes, you could write to production companies and sound stages like Leavesden and stuff in the UK. And sometimes if you get a gig, you can travel with the gig and see if you could maybe travel just for the gig, just for the 3 months where they're filming something, and then go back home. So there are a couple of things that you might be able to try with that. You're pretty close to Germany, where I'm sure they might do some filming. I would really, reach out. What I would do to start your journey is I would reach out to local film offices and see if there are any productions that are filming anywhere around you. And then I would also reach out to, there's got to be a film program at some university around you where you can also ask about that and see what's going on. And then do like a test gig. See if you actually do like working in the industry. And if you do, then you can consider where it would be a good place to move and how close it could be to home and what the financial reality of that is. Devin Henderson, I love Brandon Perea from Nope. I don't know if he should be Nova, but I'd love for him to get something. Danny says, hi, Grace, would you prefer Ahsoka as a binge show rather than a weekly? Well, yeah, I mean, especially because I don't really feel Ahsoka is engineered to be a weekly. Elise says, One Piece anime is better. Oh, you like the anime better than the live action? That's interesting. Oh, 1 more minute. I liked Nope too, Twinkle too. I don't know why people didn't like Nope. Horrible reaction to Nope from the general public. I loved it. That's right, Sleepless Night. Oppenheimer crossed to the 800s today. We're going to talk about that on Movie Math on Sunday. I didn't think it could do it, but it did. I still think 900 is too far. I remember I said it could go as high as 850. So let's see. It's in the realm of where I predicted, but it's doing very, very well. And I'm very happy for all the Oppenheimer fans who made that possible. My pleasure, Danny. I don't know about a billion cosmics, but I mean, it's already what it's accomplished for, especially the type of film that it is. It's just so incredible. All right, it's 5:36. Time for shout-outs. Where are you? What are you doing? Oh, Alwatch, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. That's very kind of you. Hey, Bafe. Nice to see you, too. Thanks for saying hi. Terry says, what's for supper tonight, Grace? I'm going out for a sub and a milkshake. That sounds delicious. Well, I cheated a little bit when I was traveling, and I ate some other food, which was delicious. So I'm trying to be very good right now. So I'm having salmon and salad for dinner. Yum. No, it's tasty. Let's see here. Hey, Lukewarm. That's a funny name. Wesley says, in Chicago, just came back from the zoo. Oh, that sounds lovely. I love going to the zoo. Oh, Bob Ray, I'm sorry you're having some financial difficulties right now. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I used to know a comedian who did some really funny jokes, and he had this really funny bit about that's why people who were having financial difficulties became artists. Because he was like, you can't go out, so you might as well stay home and create. It's like, I can't go to a movie, so I'm just going to stay home and paint. And I thought that was funny and very insightful. So, you know what? Maybe, Bob Ray, you could do some painting or some art. Writer Boy's going to do some editing. Ricardo says, love from Brian and Ricardo in Edinburgh. Hi, Brian and Ricardo. Going to see Shania Twain in London in 2 weeks. We'll even be on stage with her. Oh, those sound like good seats. Heather says, enjoying my day off in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's fantastic. I'm glad you got a day off. Well, Eliza is cuddling with her cat in Melbourne. Oh, cat emoji. Well, I Am Jacob is rewatching Loki season 1 in the UK. Silver Scale says, eating like this gets easier. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it, Silver Scale. And by the way, Ray Pizarro, I do have an avocado ripening, but it's not ready for today. I would have liked to have salmon and avocado, but I don't know. Let's see. Maybe I can make it work. But Ray says, hi, Grace. I'm in Austin, Texas, and just got home to my cat, watching you and eating chips and guac. Oh, that's delicious. So delicious. Bob Ray says, just clocked out of work and prepping to sleep at 5:30 a.m. Oh, I'm glad we could stay up with you and keep you company. Rio says, packing to go on a road trip to Banff, Alberta with my family. Oh, vacation time for you. Have a good time. I'll watch is at work, not working, but planning for the 3-day weekend. Hey, I'm sure you did a lot of work today already. You deserve some time to yourself. That's awesome. I'm glad you're making plans for the 3-day. Cosmic's got 2 shots this morning, I guess for your move, right? I'm sorry to hear your arm is numb. Mark Chapman says, I just ate some trail mix while watching your live in San Francisco. Love it. Awesome. I did pick up some raisins yesterday for my oatmeal. Emily, I should freeze the avocado? Would that make it ripen faster? Your tricks intrigue me. Oh, Wade says if you want the avocado to ripen faster, stick it next to a banana. Ooh, it is currently next to a banana, interestingly enough. I didn't even know that was the right thing to do. It is on the counter, Heather. Yeah, I have it on the counter. Let's see here. I don't have any brown paper bags, Christian and Joe, unfortunately. I should maybe get some because this is a constant problem for me. And then when it ripens, I don't want to eat it, and then it goes bad because by the time I'm ready to eat it, it's not good anymore. And then, although when I'm at my parents' house and they cut an avocado, it's always perfect. And I'm like, how do you do it? Dakota is making chicken piccata for dinner. Oh, I like that. Bye, Adrianic. Fernando says, hi, Grace. Thanks for always being awesome. Watching on my elliptical at the gym. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you feel that I'm always awesome. And I love the elliptical as well. That is also my gym equipment of choice. Oh, Heather says, after it ripens, put it in the fridge. Okay, I'm going to try that. I have 1 in the fridge right now. I bought 2. I put 1 on the counter and I put 1 in the refrigerator because I don't want them to ripen at the same time. Thank you, Wasted Poe. Thank you, everybody, for your advice on this. Diego says, just finished my lunch. Also ate salmon. Thanks for keeping me company. Oh, it's my pleasure, Diego. Cosmic says, it's important to get vaccinated, especially when living in a dorm. Highly recommended. I couldn't agree more. I got another COVID shot about 2 weeks ago. It's not the new one, but I needed some level of protection. Oh, Ricardo, you want a Q&A episode tomorrow? Well, we'll see. It's looking like it might be a Q&A episode because it's so slow right now. So ridiculously slow. Britt says, getting ready for my RBD concert at Madison Square Garden tonight. Who is RBD? Madison Square is great, though. What a great place to go. What a great venue. Official Liam, let me know how Bottoms is. I saw the trailer for Bottoms last night, and I was like, it looks pretty good. Ayo Abadiri is so talented. What a great actress. David, I was thinking of watching Past Lives, but it looked so frickin' depressing to me. I was like, I don't think I want to watch this. It was so depressing. Just the trailer. I was like, I don't want to watch this sad, sad, sad movie. Too sad. I don't need this kind of sadness. I'm trying to live my life. All right, a few more hellos, and then I've got to go work on Ahsoka. Rodney, we'll be having another watch-along. We have the Barbie one, but that'll be for all subscribers. And then we'll do a movie club watch-along towards the end of the month. Rudy says it's not that depressing. I don't know, Rudy. Maybe we might have different thresholds. Liam says, in Melbourne, Australia, we started our strike against my workplace. AI and corporate greed is everywhere. We have to take a stand, even the little guy. Good for you, Liam. I hope your strike goes very well. We stand with you. Luke, the Barbie watch along is whenever Barbie comes out, which is either September 5th, but now it's looking like it's September 12th. So that's when the Barbie watch along will be. Okay? So once it's made clear, I will, once it's official from Warner Brothers, it will be official for us as well. All right, everybody, I better get going. I had a lovely time with you. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's stream will be earlier in the day, which even makes it more likely it'll be an Ask Me Anything. So I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Mish, I see your comments. Mish. Okay, bye, everybody. Bye-bye.